Take up the white man's burden, send forth the best ye breed. Go bind your sons to exile, to serve your captives' need. To wait in heavy harness on fluttered folk and wild, your new-caught sullen peoples, half devil and half child. Remember underlining the tone words. Take up the white man's burden, in patience to abide, to veil the threat of terror and check the show of pride. By open speech and simple, and 100 times made plain, to seek another's profit and work another's gain. Take up the white man's burden, the savage wars of peace, fill full the mouth of famine, and bid the sickness cease. And when your goal is nearest, the end for others sought, watch sloth and heathen folly, bring all your hope to naught. Take up the white man's burden, no iron rule of kings, but toil of serf and sweeper, the tale of common things. The ports ye shall not enter, the roads ye shall not tread. Go, make them with your living and mark them with your dead. Take up the white man's burden and reap his old reward. The blame of those ye better, the hate of those ye guard. The cry of hosts ye humor, slowly toward the light. Why brought ye us from bondage, our loved Egyptian night? Take up the white man's burden, ye dare not stoop to less, nor call too loud on freedom to cloak your weariness. By all ye will or whisper, by all ye leave or do, the silent sullen peoples shall weigh your God and you. Take up the white man's burden, have done with childish days, the lightly proffered laurel, the easy ungrudged praise. Comes now to search your manhood through all the thankless years, cold, edged with dear-bought wisdom, the judgment of your peers. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is clarify what the subject is of this poem. If you had to say the subject in just 1 to 3 words, what would you say the subject was? Bridger?
Just talking about how like colonization is moral.
Yeah, colonization is moral. Yeah, I think that's like the argument. We were to say like the subject is then the morality of colonization, right? Was there another subject, do you think, in here that he's making an argument about? Kale?
I would say that he was talking about colonization is immoral. Like, I know his whole poem is like take up, but
Yeah.
He's talking about all the physical things.
Yeah, but he is talking about what's horrible about colonization for him?
He's talking about like how it's done.
Yeah, good. And I think in his way, so he's saying like it's a burden, right? There's all these like negative feelings associated with the process of colonization, but ultimately it's a burden that you're supposed to take on, right? And the bad part then about colonization are colonized peoples. That's who he doesn't like in the poem. He likes colonization. He doesn't like the people that you are colonizing, but he still feels like it's a moral thing to do, which is totally racist, terrible imperial point of view, nationalistic, like all the bad words point of view. And yet he is trying to defend then colonization, right? If that's the subject, if we have two subjects here, and write that under the subject section of your, if you have it. I think you have moral, right? Moral necessity, I think is what you said, yeah. Then I want you, we had started this last time, I want you to think of tone words then that you think describe the tone. We're gonna do it this way. So in your partners, I want you to find 3 words that you think describe the tone for the colonized people and describe the tone, the colonization is moral subject. So you find 3 words here, 3 words here from his actual poem. So take your underlined words and kind of split them up and find 3 tone words that you think describe the people and 3 tone words that describe the process of colonization. Then you're going to discuss the meaning of those words. Okay, there are 2 ways to think about meanings of words. Number 1 is you can think about the denotation of a word. And number 2, you can think about the connotation of the word. Tell me what the denotation of a word is. Are these words you've heard before in school? We talked about these in middle school, right? Okay, what's a denotation? Did you talk about them in middle school? Raise your hand if you've seen these words before, denotation and connotation. I'm not going to call on you. I just want to know if you've seen the words before. Okay, cool. Let's talk about what they mean then. Denotation is a dictionary definition of a word. So this is when you look it up on Google and it tells you what it is, what it means. That's like experts agree this is what this word means. But then there are also connotations to words. And this is the culturally agreed upon meaning. So this is like the kind of feeling of a word. We know, so the difference between enraged and angered, the denotations of those words are the same. They both mean like to get like worked up and mad at something, right? But we know, just we feel, enraged is more angry than just angered, right? Yeah, so that's the connotation of the word enraged, is that it's like even heightened anger. So every word has a kind of connotation. We'll need to talk about this further if we're a little bit confused about this difference. But I want you to discuss in your partners the denotations of your 3 words, so look them up on your computer, and the connotations of the 3 words. And then I want you to figure out what is the tone based on your observations of these 3 words. So you'll have 2 different tone words. You'll have tone words for colonized people and tone words for this idea that colonization is moral. All right, that wasn't the smoothest explanation. Who has questions? Oh, yeah, Richard.
Do we choose our partners?
What would you like to do? Okay, yeah, you can choose your partners. Keep your masks on though. And maybe they could be the same as you did for the colonies, or when we did the drawings. Can we do that? Use your same partner that you did when you were being colonized or colonizing. Okay, cool. Then, yeah, get into your partners. We're gonna spend about 7 minutes on this.